Hey guys, Jacob Harper here with Tuesday Talks. I'm going to be starting a new season where I interview people like David, people that I want to be successful, want to be like an entrepreneur, and want to move into being self-employed. And I'm going to be talking, just asking some questions about where they're heading in life, and just asking them a few questions. So today we have David Cowling. He has been my friend of mine since I was in diapers pretty much. We've been in Brother Mrs. Tannehill's class,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I've always looked up to David a lot, and just he's been one of my leaders that I've looked up in school, and basketball and baseball, everything. But I'm happy to have you on.
Oh, glad to be here. Thanks for asking me.
All right, so we got a few questions that we're gonna ask David today. First question, just jumping into it. So for people that don't know you, what is your daily routine?
Well, as you know, I got married about 7 weeks ago, and my wife is a morning person, so we wake up early. Typically, I start work anywhere from 7 to 8. Usually, it's around 7. So we'll wake up at 5:45, 6, have coffee together, just take a little bit of time in the morning, head off to work. And while I'm at work, I listen to podcasts and books throughout the whole day. Been picking up a lot of side work recently, so I'll do a side job after that. Then come home, spend the rest of the night with my wife, and that's kind of a typical day.
So you're pretty busy pretty much the whole day, right?
Yeah. It's been busy.
All right. So next question. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hey. No, I think right now we don't have necessarily a location or a certain job that I'm hoping to fill in 5 years.
Yeah.
Right now, I think for us it's more of a mindset and a mentality that we want to step into. So, we both have a high priority and a high emphasis on trying to serve and help other people.
Yeah.
Growing up in church the way we have, that's something that's a big deal to us. We want to be active in ministry. We want to be somebody that's a good influence on other people, kind of helping them feel comfortable at church and, understand more about Christ. So I think our mentality would be, hopefully, will be something where other people feel comfortable talking to us, and we are actively looking to help other people. And financially, we just want to be smart. We're trying to save a lot now. We're paying down as much extra as we can on a mortgage.
Yeah.
We just want to be as fiscally frugal as we can for the next 5 years, for sure.
That's for sure. Nice. So do you have like a game plan of like where you're like headed, or like do you like just stay on the path like where you're doing every day, or do you have like a set goal in mind of like where you're gonna be?
Yeah, so that's actually something that we've been talking about today. I'm with Jake, his dad. They're doing a boot camp today, so I tagged along with my wife, and so I got to listen to that. And throughout the day, as he's talking about different things, we've been making notes, and we're planning on talking about some of this stuff tonight. We haven't set any major goals for the next however many years. We don't have like a certain financial goal other than to be frugal and be smart, but we haven't set a deliverable. Yeah, so we haven't set something that's concrete that we can measure ourselves to. That's something that we're hopefully going to do tonight in the next few days.
So I started business school and at Purdue Global, and what they told me that you have to make smart goals. So that doesn't mean like don't be done with your goals. It means specific, measurable, attainable, reachable, and time bound. So like if you put that in your own life, and like I know how they say to like create like a 5-year goal. I know you said that, but you also need to create like a 3-year goal, a 1-year goal, and then like even maybe like a daily goal of like so like it keeps you in line,
Yeah.
Especially like if you're like a visionary, or like you have a bunch of ideas. Like me, like I have a bunch of ideas every day that it would jump me right off track,
Yeah.
So like having that one goal and just like sticking to that one goal every day, then it just helps you stay aligned with that 5-year goal and not longer vision. Okay, so next question is, who are some of the people you surround yourself with to better yourself as a person?
Well, first one I say is my wife.
definitely.
Obviously that's kind of one of the main goals of marriage. But she really does, it's cliche, but she does bring out the best in me, and she challenges me to be better in a good way. Not just ordering me around or anything. But no, I think in different ways, both my parents have played a very key role in my life and challenged me in different areas. At work, we have a good group of guys, and my bosses, Fred, Todd, they can all kind of direct me in different ways. But I think one of the things that I really like to do is in all the listening. So I'm a painter, so I work with my hands. And it's better if you're not a complete idiot, but I don't have to be mentally engaged for large parts of the day. I can get a lot of stuff done while also listening to podcasts, to books throughout the day. Both my brothers, they do the same thing. So we started listening on podcasts and of course. But different podcasts and any sort of like self-help book, I listen on 2 times speed. If it's there's certain novels that you can get stuff out of, or that's just kind of for fun as a break, and I'll do that. I'm at like 1.6 right now. But when I listen to things so fast, you really can eat up a lot of material, a lot of knowledge, and keeping stuff like that in front of me really helps me, stay focused. Like, man, I can be doing so much better in this area or this and this. And I had the one book that I mentioned to you a while ago that has really helped me. It's called The Principle of the Path.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a super simple concept, So when you get on a road, where you're going to go? Well, you're going to end up wherever the road takes you, right? When you pick the road, that's whatever road you decide to take. If you stay on that road, you're going to end up obviously at the end of the road. But the thing is that in life, it works the same way. So if you want to have down the line, if you want to have a lot of money saved up, you want to be able to retire, or if you're not interested in retiring, if you want to be able to leave a nice inheritance, have your funeral expenses paid for, by the time you're dead, the way to do that is not to spend all your money and live paycheck to paycheck. But a lot of people, and sometimes my habits reflect, we want that. We want to be able to leave, all that money down the road, but instead, we don't take the path to do that. We take the path of, I would really like to eat out tonight, and me and my wife, well, we really want a new TV, or we want to, have this special date or buy this new car. So we live a life and we choose a path that leads to poverty, and leads to a lot of high stress and not fulfillment. But we expect to end up at a totally different destination. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, it's by Andy Stanley. I think it's on Audible, but it's not read by him. But anyway, that's a book that has really helped me, and it's so obvious.
Yeah, you see it a lot in people.
Right, but it just lays it out so clearly as something that really helped me a lot.
That's really cool. Okay, so 4th question. What is a number one thing that helps you balance your life?
I'm probably still trying to figure some of that out now. I have a lot of side work that's been coming almost organically. I don't really have to put it out there, but it's because I have a good group of friends that they know what I do. So something comes up, they'll give me work. But right now I have a lot coming up, so I'm currently trying to find the balance between my full-time job, my side work, and being a husband now, along with soccer season's coming up. I coach that, being involved in church. But I don't know. I think,
like, what's your mindset around that?
I'm excited about where I think we could go. I think we have an opportunity to start really scaling the business. I know that our boss is looking to do that. So I definitely want to put my time in there. I want to be as proactive as I can be in that, because I do think we have a chance to really grow and be something that would be really good for my family in the future. So I'm not taking away from that at all. The side work is obviously better margins, so the amount of money I'm going to make per couple hours in side work, hopefully if I bid it right, is going to be higher than 2 hours at work with Fred's. So just trying to balance that out to, again, pick up as much extra capital as I can to just pay the mortgage down, to have that extra safety bubble, and to be able to start investing and up in the IRA and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
All that without like I certainly don't want to neglect my wife. She's not like super high maintenance, but I definitely want that time to be able to relax and recharge with her, and not just run myself into the ground.
Yeah, especially at an early age of marriage, it's probably like hard. I mean, I have no idea, but I would definitely think it'd be hard to like manage all of that. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning process, but it's fun, exciting, and she's been very supportive.
Do you have like books on like managing that, or do you just like try to like get it all by yourself?
I've been listening to a lot of books, and honestly, I probably have gone. I think I listened to too many of them in a row.
Yeah.
So they all blur back and forth. So I don't think I've listened to any like time management books or anything like that recently.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She helps me kind of know, and she's never like, babe, when are you gonna be home? She's not like naggy or anything. She's very supportive of, or even she'll come to the job with me. She'll help me with that. So we still get that time together. We're also able to make some money, get the job done. So
yeah, I think time management is probably like the hardest question to answer, honestly. Like, how do you manage your time? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of like different like things that you can use. You can like Asana. Like, I don't know, we were talking about this in the car, like with my parents and everything, of like, should I pick a specific time to make this? Because, I mean, yeah, you should, because you should know where you're spending your time. Because, like my dad said today, at the end of the day, you want more time. Like, when you're on your deathbed, you're gonna want more time. So being able to like know where your time is spent, it's a godsend.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so 5th question. If you could change one thing about your life right now, what would it be? Anything.
But if I had to, I wish I knew more. I wish I knew more about, how to advance, how to approach my boss with different ideas, or different things like that. So I definitely wish that I just knew more, and that. I mean, we've always read a lot as kids, so it's not like I just. I've never seen a book before, but I still wish that I knew more and was able to apply it more regularly. And 2, I wish I could change my spending habits the last couple of years, because I wasn't, again, my parents taught us to be good with money. And so I've never been, just horrible, but, in saving up for marriage and saving up for the down payment on the house, we wanted the bigger the down payment, the lower interest rate you have. So we wanted to put down a really big, as much of a chunk as we could. Yeah. So in doing all that, we went a couple months and we were as frugal as could get. We didn't spend, we didn't eat out at all. I wouldn't, it was just, we were doing everything we can to let's put as much down as we can. And I wish I would have spent the last 3 years like that, because, as much as I love Chipotle, I would have been just fine without, a few Chipotle bowls, or shoes or things like that. So that's something I definitely wish I had back.
Okay. What is one thing holding you back from doing what you want to do? Wait. Yeah. What is holding you back from doing what you want to do? Wait, first let's answer the question. Like, what is it that you want to do?
That's a harder question.
That's a lot of like...
I think, I went to college for pastoral theology, and I went because I feel like that's something that I should have done, and that I felt like God wanted me to do.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily tied to the idea that I have to be a pastor, or even that I have to be what's considered full-time ministry, just taking a paid full-time job at a church, school, etc. I'm not opposed to any of those things, but where I'm at now, I'm very happy working for Fred. Doing things on the side, and also being as active as I can to help out the church. So my goal is more mentality, the mentality that I want to have, the type of person I want to be. Okay. So, as opposed to, I want to be, an executive or making X amount a year, I'm more concerned with, am I going to be a jerk in 3 years, or am I going to be closed off? Am I going to be a good dad? Not yet, thank God. But in a few years, am I going to be a good dad? Am I still going to be a good husband? So what I want to be is a loving, compassionate father, a husband, and somebody who, again, just points people to Christ. Not that I'm always, just in your face about it, like, you know, hey, you know, guess what? I love Jesus, you know, which again, of course you do. And if you ask almost anybody on the street, they would say that too. But I want people to know, again, like your dad mentioned today when they were talking about the different, like the mission statements that different companies have, you know, so Chick-fil-A doesn't mention anything about food. They talk about glorifying God, but different parts of their statement, it absolutely makes sense, even though you never have seen that before, because it comes out in the way that they do business. So Disney World, the different places you talked about, I want to be the type of person that it just naturally, it makes total sense, and you understand that, you know, oh, there's something a little bit different. He's kind, he must be a Christian. You know, and I want to make being a Christian seem as appealing as it can be, because it is. Like, you know, it's so incredible. And another thing that I didn't come up with, but something that I've heard a pastor say and that really has stuck with me, you know, he can understand, and I can understand why some people may not believe in God, you know, whether the way they were raised, you know, all of us, we have kind of our parents' beliefs to start out with, or they've seen different things, or they've had different, and in some cases awful things happen to them. It's completely understandable that not everybody believes in God, but what he doesn't understand, what I agree with him, I don't understand, is why you wouldn't want it to be true, right? When you read the Gospels, when you see how much hope is there and how good life would be if it was true, that's something that, you know, like you'd think if everybody saw how good it was and if we lived the right way, maybe everybody wouldn't believe, but everybody would at least want to believe and would hope that this is something that's actually legit.
Okay. So like, let's get back to the first question. So what is holding you back from doing what you want to do? Is it just the mindset, or is it like just not the right time?
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely the person holding me back, you know. You know, again, those are my goals. It's more of a person I want to be, and nobody can stop. Like, there's nobody, there's not amount of money that I placed on that. So the only thing stopping me is me being not as good of a person as I should be. Okay. So that's something that I've tried to, you know, like I listen to, like the first thing I do on the way to work is I listen through, you know, a portion of the Bible. Right now I'm in the New Testament. So I'm just trying to kind of dive into it and try to immerse myself and learn new things, and discover new things that, you know, I'm not doing like I should. Because, again, the day that you're really mad and bitter about somebody is the day that you open your Bible and you're going to read about bitterness, you know, and there's things that just kind of pop out at you like, man, I am really bad at that. So yeah, I think the main obstacle is me. You know, I can't hide from that, but and continuing to work on it and talking, you know, being open with my wife, you know, what do I need to work on? What am I, you know, or if I can tell something's a little bit off with her, and she's just, you know, she just seems like something's weird, then I'll ask you, like, hey, you know, what did I do? You know, and hopefully it's nothing too bad. But she'll be able to, you know, she can tell me, and she feels open enough and confident enough to, you know, say like, hey, you know, you've seemed a little weird lately, or, you know, you haven't been doing this as much as you usually do. And it's just a reminder, like, oh, you know, stink, you know, I need to get back on that, or I need to start doing this. But yeah, I mean, there's not, because of the way my goals are, it's not, you know, I don't have to wait on money or a promotion. It's just me being better.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like just tell everyone, that like once you know what you want and then you have specific goals, and like how you have boundaries in place of like, if you're not missing the goals, like you have your wife that like tells you that you're not gonna, that you shouldn't be acting like that, pretty much, right? But to have those like certain things in place is like what you should have. So like people out there, like if you don't have boundaries and goals set in place of what you want, then you need to figure that out. What is something that you can do in the next 30 days that will help you grow to where you want to be?
Well, we can hopefully do the budgeting and set that long-term goals. Again, it's perfect timing for the podcast. It makes me sound like we already were planning to do it. But it's definitely something we just need to continue to talk about, you know, exactly what it is. And really, we need to put something measurable on it. You know, because we have this kind of idea of what we want to be, but, you know, how do you know when you've arrived? How do you know how close you are? And that's what we need to really nail down. So hopefully, over these next few days, that's something that we plan on doing, and trying to set some, you know, different goals and things like that to shoot for.
Yeah. All right. So, what is one challenge that you would leave the people with, or people
Challenge?
listening to this? Yeah.
I think it's just to do it yourself, like you don't have to, and I say it because this is what, I always figured, like, man, once I get out of high school, then I'm going to start doing this, and I'm going to start reading more of these kind of books, or I'm going to, try and learn how to do that or pick up this type of work. And you really don't have to wait, and I did. My dad had me, for all my book reports in HB, I did, business books for a lot of them, or spiritual books that were helpful, but I didn't have to just read one every, 6 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it was. Now we listen to I don't know, I shouldn't say so much, but we listen to multiple books a week, along with all the different podcasts and researching different things, and you can learn so much. So just to make something happen, you don't have to wait anymore.
Yeah. We've had a bunch of these guys on here, in the past season of we had 25-year-olds and 30-year-olds, and wow, you're already starting a podcast at 19. It's not like one day I was like this. All you have to do is just get up and just start doing it, honestly.
Right, and that's what, with so much technology today, that's the advantage. Preachers love talking about how, today is such a hard day to grow up in because of all the temptation and the sin that's available to us. And I mean, that's true to a certain extent, but it also means that we have so much opportunity. There's more people alive today than there ever have been before. And, I still don't know how many people were alive before Noah, but still, in a long time, this is the most people. We have so many people that are unreached, and so many people that are out there for your business, for anything like that. And we have the tools to talk to almost all of them.
Yeah.
So it's not, as much as there's a downside to it, there's a huge upside in that, we don't really take advantage of it. And I don't either. I haven't been huge on media as far as trying to help other people. It's more to learn and try and improve myself. So that's something that I could work on.
Yeah.
It's another thing.
Well, I mean, it's not just a podcast. It's getting where you want. Like you said, getting what you want. And then knowing what to do and knowing to get the knowledge. The reason I started a podcast was to get knowledge from entrepreneurs that were actually successful. That was my main goal of starting a podcast.
Yeah.
But knowing what you want, and then what we talked about earlier, knowing what you want, and then setting goals in place, and then finding out how to get to that goal. That's how you accomplish the goal of getting the knowledge first, and then setting it.
And when you're 18, 19. You don't have to know what you want even. You know what you think you want, and then you try it, and you screw it up, and you learn from it, and stink, you're still 20, you're still in college, and you take the next opportunity and keep, kind of failing forward.
So what I've learned is that my cousin Kyle, he came with us on one of these trips, on one of the power days with us.
Yeah.
And he's I think that's awesome that my dad is a business coach. So he's I just want to see and go on a trip with you. And he tried it out. He's yeah, it's pretty cool. He's he didn't really know if it was his style or anything. But my dad told him, because he had different ideas, what he might want to be. And my dad told him to go shadow those people. And he hasn't found an exact place yet, but he's going to shadow those type of people. And that's how you figure out, because obviously you're going to be in their shoes for that whole day. And that's how you figure out if you're going to like it or not, obviously.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a cool idea. So,
Okay, so we're gonna get to the last question. So if you could pick, I end this with every show. If you could pick any superhero power, what would it be?
See
and why? You gotta tell me why.
Okay. The obvious one, and everybody says, is flying.
Yeah.
Because that would be, legit. We had a horrible flight on the way here. I like flying. It wasn't that bad, but it was kind of bumpy, and the guy in the landing was really bad. He turned mid-landing. It was great. It was exciting. My wife thought we were gonna die, but obviously flying would be great. I don't know. I think you have to go with flying.
Yeah.
You either go with flying or something cliche like helping people, and it's okay, I can help people by flying. So definitely not reading thoughts. That's creepy as heck. You know, that's
Reading people's
just
thoughts.
nasty. Yeah, that's
that's-
weird.
That is kind of weird.
Or like being invisible, again, just also weird.
yeah, but
I
if
don't
like
know.
you can like hear people's thoughts, and you're like, you know,
guarantee
messing
you
with
don't want to hear people's thoughts.
that's probably
Guarantee you everybody that you decide to read their thoughts is thinking something about how stupid you are or how dumb your outfit is. Like you don't need all that negativity. Just use Twitter instead.
That's funny. All right, as always, today's show is super valuable information from David. I just want to thank you for being on.
Oh no, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.